Yeah. Continue. And let me guess, Sachi's experiencing PTSD again. I'd much prefer she's not, but it sounds like that's what this is. Yeah, because I guess just to recap the last stream, I spent pretty much just about all of it looking at Sachi's past. Including the worst birthday ever, where she literally watched her parents get run over, yeah, on her birthday. After running away from them, getting mad at them, and then, like, not too long after realizing she was in the wrong to just run away without, like, asking them to do so. I mean, you're not just gonna tell someone, ask for someone's permission to run away now that I think about it. Yeah, then she realized that she was in the wrong to run away from them. She got mad at them. Well, before. And then she wanted to apologize, but they got run over. And then she's pretty much just been, like, dealing with that ever since. And to basically just suppress that horrible nightmare. She basically just learned to stop thinking entirely and just carry out other people's orders, no matter, like, how impossible they may seem at first. Including just burning down a school to prevent a midterm from happening. Huh? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's wrong, Sachin? She's having a nightmare, I guess. Just look at all that sweat. Alright, let's wake her up first and ask questions later. Huh? I don't know much about this stuff, but are you sure we can just wake her up? Better than letting her dream, tossing and turning like that. It's gotta be a lot more exhausting than being awake. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be worth a try. I agree. Okay, I'll do it. Hey, Sachi, wake up! Sachi. It's no good. I'm shouting in her ear, but she still won't wake up. In that case, we'll have to... Move it, Chirichiro. I'll take over. Hey, Sachi, I'm talking to you, girl. Wake up! Sachi? Michiru-sama? Thank goodness, you woke up, Sachin. And Maki-chan. Amani and Queen Frostine are here too. Yeah. Here would be. Right, it's a hospital in Mishima Cape. A hospital? That's right, I did faint, come to think of it. Yes, you did. We came to visit and found you tossing in your sleep, hence the sudden awakening. I do apologize for making a nuisance of myself. Don't. You probably weren't even in control of yourself during that episode, so you got nothing to apologize for. Hey Sachi, that dream seemed kinda... What, horrifying? Don't, not now. Yeah, I wouldn't. Why are you apologizing, Michiru-sama? Never mind, it's nothing important. Don't worry about it. Yes, certainly. Let's just say all's well that ends well. We found Sachi and it seems like she's okay. That's the only thing that matters. Amani's right. This is one heck of a relief. I was crazy worried when you disappeared, Sachin. You even had me out searching for a while there. I do apologize. I caused you all a great deal of trouble. Nice going, Yumiko. Now you made Sachi apologize again. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. So what? Sometimes friends leave things unsaid, right? I really am very sorry. It's fine. I mean, you were just waiting for Yuji like you promised, right? I did make a promise, so... Right, in that case, you didn't do anything bad, Sachan. No worries. Just did what a good girl's supposed to, I guess. Amani-san. Just the sort of compassion I expect from my Amani. Your heart's as big as your tits! Surprisingly, I'm standard of comparison. Even you, Sakaki-san? Alright, Sachi, your current job's to rest up and take it easy. Get better soon, alright? Yes, of course. Alright, what's going on, Makana? Alright, stop thrashing around, Makana. You're gonna hurt yourself. I can't help it. Amane, you're a beast with that brush. Oh. When I entered the dorm for the first time in 3 days and greeted by the familiar sight of Amane grooming Makana in the lobby. Hey Amane, Sachi's scheduled to leave the hospital today, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, Yuji? Where the heck have you been, Oni-chan? Well, here and there. Here and there does not cut it, mister. We'd only just found Sachi and then you disappeared too. Everybody's worried, you know. Oh, physicist, welcome back. So, Sachi was found eventually. Yeah, she'd been sitting at the park for 28 hours straight. That being the park that she and Yuji used to play as kids. And I assume that was like one major spoiler. Yuji and Sachi actually knew each other as friends, but both seem to just like end up forgetting about having spent time with the other as kids due to their respective traumas. Sorry, I had a job come in, then I need to butter up for JB for a while. Couldn't quite find the time to come back. Butter up JB? Well, I guess you could say that was part of the job too. Whatever, but if you had to work, you could have at least told us. Dang straight here was wandering in the hallways in the middle of the night, moaning like a banshee, you know. With cling wrap on her head, no less. I think that's just her regularly scheduled maintenance. Oh, her dyeing her hair? But judging from that first question, you're planning to come with us to bring Sachi home, Yuji? Well, judging how I'm here in the visual novel, yes, I saw the backstory. Actually, I was gonna ask if you let me take care of that by myself. And don't know what else to say besides the fact that 6 pages of printed text on paper, they definitely can't just convey exactly what Sachi went through. There's no way 6 pages of text are gonna be enough to get across what she had to deal with. And then there's still the whole like scene where she burnt down one of her schools. She literally destroyed one of her schools, almost Angry German Kid parody style. Instead of blowing it up, she burned it down. Yeah, I'd probably find that more disturbing if I wasn't also just thinking about the Angry German Kid parodies where AGK basically just blew up his school because he didn't want to have to go to summer school. Sachi and I are thick as thieves. It's only natural that I be there when she leaves the hospital. Yeah, I do understand that you want to be there. This is just me being selfish, but the thing is, I got something important to discuss with Sachi, so it'd be more convenient if we could have some privacy. Privacy, you say? Yeah, I do, don't worry. I'm planning to fill you in afterward. I see. Amane rests her hand on her chin and nods thoughtfully. Alright then, if you say so, I'll wait here. Top 1 demon. I saw the link you sent me in Discord. I haven't clicked on it yet. So you're saying it's harder than Tartarus? It's been confirmed more difficult than that? I mean, we'll be able to see Sachi soon enough, even if we don't meet her at the hospital. No reason to get her knickers in a twist. Stop staring at my butt. It was a figure of speech, as in, this really isn't worth getting upset about. Oh, you're suspiciously understanding. Guess he slipped you a baguette or two beforehand, eh? Okay, first of all, you're the only person I know who can be bribed with a loaf of bread, and second, it's pretty rare for you to ask for a favor, right? Oh, now that you mention it. I'm not particularly conscious of that myself, but I guess I'll have to take their word for it. So that alright with you, Makana? I'll make some snacks while we wait. You sure about that, Chef? My tongue's a pitiless critic. Yeah, I'll put forth the utmost effort. Sorry, you two. It's all good. Just make sure you take care of her luggage, alright? Yeah, of course. And no screwing in the hospital, you got that? Yeah, of course. Captain, I detected a suspicious delay before that response. Right, I think that's just because your question was so stupid. When I quietly open the door to her hospital room, I find Sachi up and about, neatly folding her blankets next to the bed. I bet good money you're one of those people who make their own bed when staying in a hotel. How did you? Anybody could guess from a look at this little scene. Both they were distracted by the completely out-of-place maid-up at first. If you're saying casual attire is inappropriate for leaving the hospital, I can get changed in my school uniform right away. Well, I don't think it's exactly a formal location or anything. In that case, I prefer to stay in my maid uniform after all. I was instructed to wear it when I can. Right. There's an awkward moment before I can manage to respond. Now that I know about Sachi's principles, those typical words inspired a twinge of something like pity. Alright, I'll take care of the bedding. But you're still recovering. Spare the back talk for another time, alright? If you say so, Kazami-san, I do appreciate it. Sure. Changing places with Sachi at the side of her bed, I quickly remove the sheets and begin to fold the mattress. As I work, Sachi stares intently at my face. You have something you want to ask me? Go ahead. Well, in that case, why are you here, Kazami-san? Okay, what song does that level use, by the way? GD... Full Unnerved by Ice Cape, so I'm guessing this is it, right? Again, more red and black. There's other colors besides red and black, just saying. Oh, there's gray too. Red, black, and gray. You see most extreme demons with those colors and not many others. Holy shit. Yeah, someone had to beat this. I gotta keep this in mind. Also, did anyone fail at like 97% at any points in Slaughterhouse trying to verify it? Or 98? Because I would really hope not. Or perhaps the latest you can possibly fail. New top 1. Looks like, yeah. Apparently the level wasn't even made to be possible, and someone still did it. Hence why I had to just go check it out. Why are you here? Something strange about me coming to pick you up from the hospital? No, I wouldn't say that, but while I was hospitalized, you never visited. Oh, you missed me? More than anything else, I thought you might have been angry at me, Kazami-san. Why would you think that? When we met at the park, you had a rather distressed look on your face. I see, so that's it. Yes. As she speaks, Sachi's expression is distinctly downcast. Not a look you see on her face often. Normally, Sachi can present an expression of unperturbed, detached calm under virtually any circumstances. Oh, you're talking about the song that was playing during Slaughterhouse? I mean, if you think that's disturbing, I could definitely show you disturbing. Probably after the stream, though, most likely. This must have been bothering her a great deal, and if so... Actually, Sachi, I had something I wanted to discuss with you. It's sort of related to your question just now. Something to discuss? Yeah, it's kind of important. In other words, did the owner of the tobacco store finally discover the identity of his wife's lover? That's important to you? What are you saying, Kazami-san? It's been the hot topic in the shopping district since before summer vacation began. That fact? We seem to have gotten a bit sidetracked here. A bit? Anyway, let's finish up here first. We can talk after. Yes, certainly. Well, mind explaining why you called this a little group meeting without even giving Kamine-san time to unpack? Also, why in the classroom in uniform, even? Immediately after returning from the hospital with Sachi, I arranged for all our dorm mates to gather in the classroom, resulting in this admittedly justifiable barrage of questions. Sorry to stand on ceremony and all, but this is something of a formal report, so I figured it couldn't hurt to have an appropriate setting. A formal report? Yeah, in order to ensure Mahama Academy remains a harmonious living environment for everyone here, there's something I need to announce to you all immediately. Well, what is this concern? Well, to get straight to the point, Sachi and I are dating now. Huh? I draw Sachi up to my side by the waist, say what needs to be said, and wait. The classroom goes dead silent for a long moment. Our four classmates scattered randomly across the room stare up at us, a range of uncomprehending and quizzical expressions frozen on their faces. Alright, I guess see you later then. In the end, the first to break the increasingly awkward stalemate is Sachi. None of you seem particularly surprised. What? No, we're plenty surprised, let me assure you. Is that so? But everyone seemed quite calm. Calm might not be the right word, more like shocked, speechless. I thought my heart was about to stop for reals. Yeah, this is serious business. Hiroshira's brain cells have enough problems as it is without you guys cutting off their blood supply. Things could have gotten even more tragic up there. That's right, what she said. You really didn't notice that she was insulting you? Tragic indeed. Huh? What? Okay, Michiru's one thing, but I didn't really expect the rest of you to have trouble getting your heads around this. Well, yeah, we get what you're saying, but this is really abrupt in a lot of ways, you know? I knew you two were getting along lately, but even my formidable powers of intuition hadn't foreseen this. Indeed, even for an April Fool's prank, this is in rather poor taste. Hold it, Sakaki. Two things. One, it's July. Two, what are you planning to do with that? That entirely depends on your response. Alright, I'll say this again as unambiguously as I can. Sachi and I really are dating, not a joke. When I declare the matter in the simplest possible terms, a brief silence on the classroom for the second time in the last few minutes. Settles. Komine-san, is what he says true? Yes, just a little while ago on the way back from the hospital. For all that important discussion, I want you to be my girlfriend. Alright with you? Certainly, if you say so, Kazami-san. That'll be the rough outline. So you just said okay right away, Sachi? Well, Sachi is Sachi, so of course she'd say okay if she was asked to do something. That's what good girls do, right? Indeed I did. Casual much? It's like, hey, join the soccer team with me, and you're all, well, if you say so, except without the soccer team, and now you're dating? Well, yes, that would be a fairly accurate description of the mood. Leaving the mood aside, are you really sure about agreeing with you without even thinking it over? Like what you mean? Look, if you start dating someone, that means you're going to become a couple, right? So if you're gonna go out with someone, it should be someone you're interested in, right? Yes, I do believe you're right about that, Amane-san. I'm gonna be blunt. Komine-san, what do you think of Kazami-kun? Well, I don't dislike him. So you do like him then, in a romantic sense? I'm not entirely sure. The moment those words leave Sachi's mouth, the tense atmosphere in the classroom softens rapidly. Not quite sure, huh? She said something pretty similar when she moved her seat, didn't she? That's probably really how she feels, right? In that case, I suppose we don't need to be too worried for the moment. And the aggressive inquisitors, Seemed just about ready to physically go for my throat a minute ago, not in the parent satisfaction. I don't quite follow, but does this mean none of you have any objections? Don't be freaking ridiculous. You know Sachi's a good girl who can't turn down a request, and you're taking advantage of it. You're pretty much forcing her into this, you know? I'm not holding a gun to her head, am I? Well, maybe not, but... Hey, Sachi, if you don't like this idea, I'm completely fine with you turning me down, alright? You can be honest. So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna ask one more time. You willing to be my girlfriend? Yes, that's quite alright. I honestly don't dislike the idea of dating you, Kazami-san. There, straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah, but that's a really unfair way to ask the question. Okay, let me ask you something. How would a fair romance work exactly? What? Pursuing someone romantically means trying to monopolize their affection. Of course, you use everything you can to try and get a foot in the door. Love's fundamentally selfish. I don't see any real difference between my strategy here and, say, your tsundere thing, or Amane and her chest blubber attacks, am I wrong? What the heck? Everything out of his mouth sounds like a load of crap, but it's almost convincing somehow. But, alright. I'm not unsympathetic to your complaints. If you feel Sachi's consent isn't enough under the circumstances, I'll provide you with an even better argument. You have a trump card up your sleeve? Truth is, I kept this quiet until now, but... What? Sachi and I are childhood friends. And so the third silence settles on the classroom. Then I guess there's nothing more to be said. Matsushima-san, why on earth would that convince you? Come on, what do you want me to do? Tsundere may be a major brand, but childhood friend is still the market leader. Is that really the issue here? Is that true? Yes, when we were younger, Kazami-san and I were playmates for a time. Incidentally, back then we called each other Sasha and Yukun. What the heck are you getting embarrassed for? That's not all. Back in the day, we kissed on a regular basis. Kissed?! To be more precise, lip on cheek, I suppose you could call it a kiss, but a smack might be a more appropriate description. A smack, huh? Sachi and you were pretty brazen little Lolita. The indiscretions of youth, as they say. Oh no, I think you were a little too youthful for that. So anyway, put a romantic spin on all this, and you could call it a miracle that Sachi and I were reunited here. Come on, a miracle? Coincidence seems more appropriate. Call it what you want. The odds of us meeting again were incredibly low. Probably millions to one, yet here we are. Also, how romance starts off isn't the most important thing. What matters is how you grow into it. Bro? Yeah. I know Sachi probably doesn't have clear romantic feelings for me yet. But when I found her, she'd been waiting for me in the pouring rain for an entire day without even an umbrella. I've been thinking things over seriously ever since then. I made up my mind. I want to see her happy. So I'm going to make that happen, whatever it takes. I'll protect Sachi to the extent she's comfortable with. And I won't make her regret becoming my girlfriend. I can promise you people that. Still have a problem? Find someone who can make her happier than I can, and I'll gladly step aside. But not until then. Seems I've reduced Amane to illiterate grunts. I mean, when you talk like that, what the heck are we supposed to say? We couldn't make you say the same for us, plain and simple. Amane's tone of voice is vaguely sulky. Not expected in her case, but I'm slightly surprised to see Sakaki and Michiru showing similarly mixed emotions on their faces. In other words, since Sachi got all that sappy stuff out of Oni-chan, she's the winner! The winner? You betcha. You've triumphed gloriously in the fight for the school soul scrap of man meat. Is that so? Okay, let's try this again. You willing to accept our relationship? Well, what do you have to say to the man, people? Well, after hearing all that, I guess we don't have much choice, do we? I suppose not. Yeah, I agree as well. Well, there you go, boss. Thanks for the summary, but what about you, Makina? Huh? I'm a reasonable and selfless girl by nature, you know? I wasn't planning to kick up a fuss in the first place. That said, if you make my adorable Sachin cry, I'll lodge a formal objection in the appropriate venue at once. Sounds about right. Okay, we have us a deal. Hey, Amane, is it just me, or does Makina seem weirdly mature all of a sudden. Yeah, you're not wrong. Seems like I managed to persuade them for the time being. Alright then, looks like we're pretty much done here. Sachi and I are gonna head out now. Oh, did you have something further planned? Yeah, I want to talk some stuff over now that things are official. Alright, later. Let's go, Sach. At your service. He's already given her some gross pet name, landing on thick right off the bat, aren't you? I think saying at your service to your boyfriend is the weirder part there. Well, I'm still trying to get my head around the whole childhood friends thing. To be certain, there's a great deal I'd like to say about this. But sometimes that sort of forcible approach may be just what the doctor ordered. After heading out through the roof with Sachi and Toy, I leaned back against the tall wire fence and exhaled. But did you manage to get their consent if not approval? With our relationship established, I'll be able to spend more time around Sachi without it seeming unnatural. Simply being there should be a good first step. Sachi stands at my side with typically excellent posture, staring off vaguely into the distance as if lost in thought. Sort of threw things into a commotion the instant you got out of the hospital, didn't I? You feeling alright? Yes, I rested for 3 full days, so I completely recovered. That a fact? Yes. Even so, she responds to my question immediately, turning towards me with a pleasant smile on her face. To be sure, that's all completely standard Sachi, but the way she was gazing off absent-mindedly instead of waiting attentively for next orders is a little unusual. Also, I know it's a little late in the game, but sorry about the springing the girlfriend thing on you out of nowhere. No, that's quite alright. I'm very happy you asked me, Kazami-san. Happy, huh? If what Sachi calls happiness now was really something deserving of the name, I don't think I would have gotten this worried about her. At the moment, she's buried her feelings so deep that she can't even give herself a straight answer about whether she likes me. But for the same reason, becoming a formal couple should be a meaningful development. Anyway, I know it must seem sudden, but I meant what I said to the others. Now that we're dating, I'm gonna put real effort into being your boyfriend, that's a promise. Fair warning, I'm planning to give you a few pushes forward to help you be yourself. Help me be myself? The discussion seems to have taken a rather philosophical turn. I'm not going to explain yet, you'll have to wait and see. A Kazami-style surprise, is it? That it is. Get a bit excited? Yes, at the moment I wouldn't be surprised if you abruptly declared your candidacy for Prime Minister. Oh, you really should be. Look, there's no point in acting surprised now, okay? I see the timing is rather difficult, isn't it? Even in casual, aimless conversations like this, Sachi's self-imposed rules regularly assert themselves. No matter what happened in the past, she's a student at Manhattan Academy now. In that case, we may as well get her a few appropriate memories to remember her student life by. I think that's what Sachi needs more than anything else right now. It's not going to solve all her problems, but it's a necessary start. Okay, here's the thing. Now that we're in a relationship, there's 3 things I want you to try and do for me, Sachi. Now we get to the heart of the matter. I need to receive your lust, provide an outlet for your passion, and satisfy your carnal desires, yes? Not only are you spectacularly wrong, but all 3 of those mean the exact same thing. Then, number 1, try to spend as much time with me as you can, within reason. Within reason? In other words, all day with the exception of time spent sleeping, bathing, and using the toilet? Roughly, yeah, but I'm not looking to establish any hard and fast rules here. Don't think too hard about these. Certainly. Come to think of it, this probably signifies the moment where she binds herself to a new precept. Okay, second up. Yes? From now on, I want you to try and actively think about the reasons behind things. The reasons? That's right. Remember that time a while back when Michiru asked you to bring her a metal bat? I believe so. Wasn't this the same day I cleaned the grand bath with you, Kazami-san? That's right. At the time, you told me you weren't interested in the reason Michiru wanted the bat, but I think you'd be better off showing a little more curiosity about things like that. For one thing, some effort in that department should help cut down those weird misunderstandings you're always making. I see a very reasonable suggestion. Alright. As for number 3, generally speaking, I want you to observe my behavior carefully. I'm sorry, could you please elaborate? Yeah, let's see. As your boyfriend, I'm going to spend a lot of time with you. We'll do plenty of things together and talk a lot more than we used to. So as my girlfriend, I'd like you to actively make note of how I act in any given situation. I know you might not understand at the moment, but I think it's going to be helpful down the road. Alright, in that case, I'll thoroughly burn your every word and deed into my memory, Kazami-san. Yeah, you do that. So far, so good. If these rules function properly, the time we spent together should prove beneficial to Sachi. That's all I want to say, but do you have any questions on your end? Well, yes, there is one thing I'd like to ask. Good to hear. Shoot. Truth is, I've been wondering about this for a while now. Kazami-san, have you decided to shift your method of addressing me from Sachi to Sach? I was just thinking how unusual it was for you to be staring off into the distance, but you were worrying about that of all things. What are you saying, Kazami-san? One's popular designation is a matter of significant importance not only in daily life, but even in the midst of combat operations. For example, if your codename were Michiru-sama rather than Mad Hatter, every transmission would be met with an explosion of scornful amusement, rendering your job all but impossible to perform. You know, Michiru would bite your leg if she heard that. But considering the Michiru-sama incident, this does seem to be a fairly important point to Sachi. Alright, if it's that big a deal to you, I'll think it over carefully. I do appreciate it. That said, the nickname before was a completely spur-of-the-moment thing, and Sachi has always worked pretty well for me. Alright, I think I'm going to stick with Sachi after all. It's what I'm used to at this point. Certainly, and on a related note, how should I address you, Kazami-san? Let's see. The way she is now, Sachi would probably call me Oni-chan or darling without even batting an eyelid if I asked. Might be something worth taking advantage of since I have the chance. Alright then, from now on, why don't you call me Yukun, the way you used to? I'd like to ask a question in accordance with the rule 2, if I may. Does that mean you find it more pleasant to be addressed that way? Yeah, I guess it's kind of nostalgic and first names feel more natural for a couple, don't you think? I see, I wasn't aware Yukun had such an effect on you. If you like, I could call you Sachan myself. That would overlap with Amane-san somewhat. But if that's what you want, Kazami-san, I wouldn't dream of refusing. Alright, understood. As always, she's seriously awkward when it comes to expressing what she really wants. Make a laughing stock out of my name, will you? It seems the time has come to throw down the gauntlet and show Sachi who's boss. I really wouldn't try. You'd definitely lose, Michiru. More importantly, is it just me or is there nothing particularly out of the ordinary here? They seem to be rather enjoying themselves. Yeah, you're not wrong. I actually feel a little bad for spying on them at this point. See, I told you so. You're a bunch of worrywarts, for real. Come on, Nakana. You like Yuji so much you call him Oni-chan for crying out loud. What's with you playing the mature voice of reason? Listen carefully, Chirichiru. Human beings are creatures defined by constant growth. The only people that ain't growing are people who stop moving forward, and you in the tits department. You're on the list now, gonna make you cry. Just wait and see! I really wouldn't try. You'd definitely be the one blubbering in the end. Don't give in. Don't let them bring you down, me! My master used to tell me that the success or failure of an operation is 80% decided before you pull the trigger. Point being, preliminary planning and advanced groundwork are crucial. And in general, disorganization and dysfunction in the field is a product of problems with your group's interpersonal dynamics. Smooth communication and functional relationships create the favorable conditions necessary for success. You need to keep the people around you up to date on the situation, and ensure that everyone shares a common understanding. In obedience to that theory, I voluntarily submitted myself to an aggravating interrogation from my classmates yesterday, but unfortunately there's still one more person in the school I need to offer a report to. Well, considering she possesses the authority to restrict my actions, it might be more accurate to call this one a negotiation rather than a report. When negotiating, it's a serious mistake to admit a position of weakness. If the balance of power is overwhelmingly tilted towards your opponent, your goal is to keep them from realizing it. At times, a little empty bravado was called for. So in summary, Sachi and I are dating as of yesterday. You have a problem with that? Is that so? Congratulations to you. Apparently unfazed by both my arrogant tone and my sizable pair of feet. Currently propped up on a nice wooden table, Chizuru offers me a little round of mock applause in place of a scolding. Aren't teachers supposed to object to this sort of thing by default? That's a misguided preconception, plain and simple. A full range of healthy social relationships enables personal growth. I have no reason to oppose this. You're not considering the possibility I might take advantage of Sachi and then throw her away? If you conclude that's the best name for Kamini-san, I wouldn't say anything. Sounds like something JD would say. A comparison to Haradera-san? How flattering. What, a modest youthful woman like you who could still pass for a student in a pinch? Idolizing some shaggy-headed bimbo who traipses around dressed like an effeminate stage magician? That's not it. That's incredibly rude to her, for one thing. All I meant was that she understands you better than anyone else. Oh, that's a relief. Anyway, I know you well enough to conclude you're not the sort of person to do something like that. And now she's talking like some kind of educator. Cheeky woman. Excuse me, can you name my profession? You're a principal. Very well done. The women I know have a habit of coolly declaring that they understand things about me that I'm not aware of myself. From my perspective, it's kind of disconcerting. Maybe I'm just not transparent human being, but whatever the case. This sort of vague, unconditional trust just makes the pressure and sense of responsibility I burden myself with weigh all the heavier on my shoulders. So to be perfectly clear, I completely respect and value the independence of my students in matters like these. Independence, she says. This sense that I'm acting exactly as Chizuru anticipated is a little galling, but I guess putting up with a bit of smug self-satisfaction on our part is far preferable to fighting against her opposition. To be honest though, I'm not confident I can play the boyfriend role particularly well. Oh? Rather rare to hear such uncertainty from you. Guess so. My master taught me the knowledge and attitude necessary to get by in Ichigaya, and so far, I've been able to compensate for my shortcomings in other fields through determined effort. So if I was dealing with someone who wanted a comfortable lifestyle or a prettier face or something, I'm confident that I'd be able to make it happen given enough time. But I honestly don't know if I'll ever be able to make happiness mean the same thing for Sachi as it does for me. I'm well aware that once someone forgets what happiness is, it's not easy to make them remember again. After all, you could say this whole project is an attempt to do for Sachi what my master did for me. I see. You may not appreciate hearing this, but I'm slightly relieved to hear you talk like that. Chizuru relaxes in her chair as she speaks, and her eyes find mine, gentle as a new mother's. Why would hearing about my self-doubt inspire relief exactly? Well, as a client who's requested work from you, I suppose it should be a little unsettling. But as a student, no, as a human being, you're still a work in progress. You do know that, yes? It's only natural you'd feel anxious about something you're attempting for the first time. But if you persist, if you keep on approaching others, I think that hole inside you will start to fill up bit by bit. Weren't you the one mocking me for being a romantic just the other day? You're laying it on pretty thick yourself all of a sudden. Excuse me. It may sound slightly corny, but I'm being serious here, you know? Yeah, I'm aware of that. I hope so. I'd like you to try and keep in mind that you're currently in a place called a school. And what's that supposed to mean apart from the blindingly obvious? A school comes with teachers such as myself and classmates such as the girls. So when you're feeling uncertain or simply don't know what to do next, there's no reason to muddle through it alone. Get help from the people around you, that's what we're here for, don't you think? Help from the people around me, huh? You've been at this academy for a while now, so I assume you noticed that those girls are surprisingly reliable, yes? At first glance, they're an eccentric bunch, and a number of them have some serious deficiencies as students, but as a group, they got an unexpectedly observant and responsible side when it comes to helping out their classmates. When Sachi went missing, every one of them cooperated on their own initiative, above and beyond what I asked of them. Can't say Chizuru was wrong about this one. Judging from the expression on your face, I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I suppose so. Also, as unfortunately happens to be summer vacation at the moment. Why not simply spend more time with Kamini-san and see what happens? Perhaps you'll find your answers in the natural course of things. You may be a working student, but I assume you have enough time to spare for this, yes? Guess you're probably right. My uncertainty about this new relationship is my own problem. The things Sachi needs from me aren't going to change. The soul-searching and second-guessing can wait until she's regained something like normality. What do you think? Even a teacher can still pass for a student and still be slightly useful every once in a while, yes? Yeah, my apologies, I retract the comment. That's the way. Do try to keep up that admirable spirit of humility. As Chizuru stands from her chair, I follow her lead and push myself up off the sofa. Well, I'll give it my best shot. That's a good attitude. There's no need to overthink this. If you act with Kamina-san in mind, you're already quite a splendid boyfriend in my opinion. Hope you're right. Just as I reported to Chizuru, yesterday Sachi and I officially became a couple. Although doing so is a necessary step toward Sachi helping regain herself, I don't want our relationship to be nothing but the means to an end. And while my master taught me a few things about romance, it was more like playing make-believe than anything else. This is the first time I've been in a genuine romantic partnership. I've somehow stumbled into a position of potentially considerable influence over the life of someone I care about. It's a heavy thought. A single drop of sweat runs down my spine, sending a slight unseasonable chill through my body. Guess it's only natural I'd be nervous. Lowering my eyes from the ceiling, I discover a shadowy shape protruding slightly from behind a pillar. Judging from the single glint of light that follows as I move, they're probably watching me with a monocular of some sort. A decently made toy of that sort can read fine newsprint from 10 meters. The Pearl models are highly useful as inconspicuous portable surveillance devices. But since this is almost certainly just Machina screwing around with something she ordered out of the back of a comic book, it shouldn't pose a problem to just leave it be. But even as I move from place to place, the shadowy form in its glint of light follows persistently. Getting followed around all day would be kind of unpleasant. I think it's time I put an end to this. After a moment of quiet concentration, I throw open my eyes and dash furiously at my hidden observer. Huh? What? And making full use of my surprise advantage, I barrel straight into my target before they have time to react. As my momentum carries us rolling across the ground, I twist my body to protect the stalker from the impact. When we come to rest in the shadows, there's a floral scent tickling my nose and the feeling of something soft in my hand. This would be a female breast if I'm not mistaken. A little small for Amane or Yumiko, but not meager enough to be Machina or Michiru. Sachi, that you? How astonishing. You're capable of identifying people by simply groping their breasts? Well, to be honest, I was also going off your scent and non-reaction of being tackled, among other things. I rise to my feet as I speak, then reach out a hand to Sachi, who's still sprawled out on the ground. Why are you blushing all of a sudden? I thought we'd likely be doing some romantic activities at this point. So I was trying to help set the mood. I appreciate the thought, but nobody asked for that sort of help. Then why did you push me down just now? Yeah, why start off a relationship by pushing your girlfriend down anyways? Because you've been stalking me since I left the principal's office. In other words, you were on it to me all along? Of course I was. The way you kept pointing that thing straight in my face, it'd be pretty damn hard to miss the reflection from the lens. I see. I thought this a good opportunity to make use of the monocular I purchased to play spies with Maki-chan, as rumor had it the KGB themselves favored this model. But the manual didn't mention anything about the lens reflecting light. Well, probably because it was too obvious to mention. More importantly, why did you feel the need to conduct a surveillance operation on me this late in the game? Did somebody ask you to investigate my movements? Yes, you did, Yukon. Oh, I did? Wait, I did? That's correct. Yesterday you instructed me to observe your behavior carefully. And that's why you were spying on me from the shadows with a monocular. Indeed, so as to carefully observe even the finest details invisible to the naked eye. I'm using a precision instrument with 6 lenses and 2 prisms. Nothing will slip by me, I assure you. How reassuring. Naturally, I didn't mean observe carefully in that sense, but Sachi interpreted it this way. I'll have to make a mental note for future reference. Sachi, you have a minute? Just as I'm heaving a small sigh, Michiru's shrill voice approaches. I got a little favor to ask. Wait, what the? Yuji's here too? If that's a problem, I can leave. That's not really what I'm saying, but, hold on a second. What are you even doing out here? Don't tell me you're taking advantage of this dating Sachi thing. I'm trying some funny business in broad daylight. Calm yourself, Michiru-sama. Your nasal breathing is growing alarmingly intense. Right. It'd be beneath my dignity to lose my cool here. My finely honed instincts are telling me it's probably best not to ask about dignity at the moment. Well then, what was the specific nature of your request? Yeah, I kinda wanted your help cleaning my room, Sachi. In other words, you're incapable of picking up after yourself? Good to know. The thing about me is, you know. I like things nice and tidy, but I got a bit of a natural talent for making a mess. Sounds rough. I know, right? So you can come help, Sachi? As you can see, Yukun Michiru-sama is requesting my... Yukun? I'm pretty sure I already mentioned she used to call me that when we were kids. Is it that surprising to hear her using it now? Now that you mention it, you did say something about that on the roof. On the roof? Ah! Nothing! I said nothing! A little brain fart, that's all! A mysterious transmission from space just happened to jump on a missed call. Or something. What the? Sachi, why are you yanking my twin tails all of a sudden? Your reception seems somewhat problematic. I thought I might try and adjust the antenna. Why are you always like this? I obviously wasn't serious about the message from outer space. I mean, I've never even been to Sirius. Very nice. As always, Michiru-sama, your puns can make a stone groan. Hmm? Is that a compliment? Or an insult? Hmm. That has to be one of the more inept attempts at dodging a question I've ever seen. It seems safe to conclude our classmates were listening in our conversation on the rooftop. So what's it gonna be? Can I borrow Sachi or not? Yeah, don't mind me. I suppose it's settled then. Okay then. Your boyfriend gave the all clear, so let's do this. Yes. Accept what others ask of you without exception. You could call that the principle of the defined Sachi she is today. So come to think of it, this might present a good opportunity to disrupt the status quo a little. Actually, hold on a second. What's wrong? Can I help out with this request as well? Huh? You're offering to clean my room, Yuji? Yeah. Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Cleaning a room involves physical labor after all. As a boyfriend, I think it's only natural I reduce my girlfriend's burden wherever possible. Now I get it. You just want to show off. Just have to rub the single girl's nose in it, huh? You can interpret it however you want. Is it alright if I help, or do you want Sachi to handle this alone for some reason? I guess I don't really care either way, as long as the room gets clean. Very accommodating of you, much obliged. Wait, did I just get thanked for some reason? Yeah, that you did. You're just as understanding as I'd hope, Michiru. I really don't get it. But I could get used to being praised by Yuji. So you heard the man, Sachi. I guess Yuji's gonna be helping out on this one as well. Yes, as long as you're in agreement, Michiru-sama. I don't mind the slightest. Alright, Sachi, you'll be operating as my support. Affirmative. Whoa, already in mission mode? So this is Michiru's room? Okay. Look, I agreed to let you help with the cleaning, but don't go poking around more than you need to, alright? Not a problem, I more or less grasp the structure of the room itself. Well done, Yukun. Do you know where Michiru-sama keeps her underwear? Same as you, Sachi, in the top drawer of her dresser. Why do you know that? Don't tell me you're a psychic on top of everything else. Actually, that's exactly it, but if the truth gets out, it'd become a huge hassle. Keep it secret from the others, will you? No kidding. You had it rough in your own way, huh? At times like these, one can't help being grateful for Michiru's easily manipulated nature. Anyway, the room itself doesn't look that messy. What did you want us to clean up specifically? Well, over there. Averting her eyes in shame, Michiru points to a corner of her room, where numerous stacks of dusty manga tower halfway to the ceiling. From a glance at the titles, they all seem to be tsundere-centric. The limp loops of plastic strings scattered about tell the story of a frustrated attempt to dispose of those herself. I tried my best, okay? No matter how tight I pulled the string, it'd always get all loose at the end. And that's why you came to Sachi? That's right, you understand the request now, right? Can I leave the rest to you? Yeah, I already gave you my word I'd help. So you can expect my best efforts. Thanks, I guess. Gathering the plastic strings from the floor, I make 3 loops. Then begin to slip the magazines inside about 6 at a time. Get a good pile inside, then cross the strings so they intersect on top, make a few small loops at the corners, and only then pull at the top. There, a good tight bundle. Where the heck did that come from? Are you one of those guys that does tricks on primetime variety shows, or what? Not quite. Picked this one up from some book I read ages ago, that's all. These days, it's not uncommon for the string itself to come packaged with instructions for a variety of knots and techniques. No kidding. I don't think I even know any knots other than the shoelace one. Sachi, how many do we have left? Actually, the ones you're working on now seem to be the last of them, you could. My hand's still in motion. Ask for a progress report, only to be informed the job's practically over. By dividing the work efficiently between the 2 of us, we've completed Michiru's request in less than 10 minutes. Okay then, can you people please explain why I've been bundled up too? Huh? When I turn back, Michiru is rolling helplessly around the floor, her entire body bound tightly with plastic string in the popular tortoiseshell pattern. Hey there, Michiru. I understand if you acquired a taste for bondage, but it strikes me as kind of rude to play with yourself while people are doing your chores for you. I didn't tie myself up, idiot. Your girlfriend did this. Sachi did? Yes, thanks to your assistance, I had a few spare moments on the job. I decided to take the opportunity to impress the fundamentals of secure binding onto our client's very body. That's completely friggin' ridiculous. If you want to teach me, do it normally. For one thing, this is a completely different kind of binding. True, in that case, I'll use a knot ideal for binding magazines next, if you'll just... That's not necessary, thanks. Just untie me already. Yes, certainly. Although I suppose this could be taken as another demonstration of the friendly and trusting relationship these two share. The way she meekly allowed Sachi to truss her up like a Christmas ham can only be described as pure Michiru. But I gotta say, you two sure finished that up fast enough. After all the trouble it gave me. Well, yeah, the request itself wasn't anything particularly tough. Yukin, that statement can be interpreted as an insult toward Michiru-sama, as she was forced to ask for our help. Hey, I could've done alone if I really put my mind to it. Perhaps, but I can picture the garbage day that would follow quite clearly. I see you, Michiru-sama, spilling hundreds of magazines all over his stairs, shrieking "Nugi" in a high-pitched voice. Stop! Stop seeing it! This is a no soothsaying zone! Well, whatever, you two really did help me out, so thanks for what it's worth. Yeah, same to you, Michiru, you've been a help. Thank you very much, Michiru-sama. Getting thanked after asking you guys for a favor feels a little weird. No need to think hard about that one. Incidentally, if you need another favor sometime, you can come straight to me. Wait, so if I do, you'll help again? Yeah, as long as I can help, I will. Anything you want, feel free to ask. What? Hardly as shocking an offer as all that, is it? Well, no, but when you say anything, you really do mean anything? I don't know what else I'd mean. Same deal as Sachi, basically. Of course, that only goes for the humanly possible. That's still plenty. Muttering the words more to herself than anyone else, Michiru pumps a fist at her side in an apparent display of enthusiasm. What's with you? Never mind me, it's nothing. Anyway, good work today. Okay, thanks, see ya, bye. Yeah. After abruptly terminating the conversation, Michiru practically pushes Sachi and me out of her room, then slams the door shut. Don't really understand what all that was about, but it seems like she has her mind or something all of a sudden. More mercurial than a barrel of thermometers. Such is Michiru-sama's inherent nature. It seems the day I can fully decipher Michiru's modus operandi is still far away. Also, Yukun, do you have any plans for the rest of the day? Not really. Thought I'd just read in my room for a while. In that case, would it be alright if I joined you? Yeah, I'm just the one who asked you to try and spend time with me after all. Thank you very much. These actions have meaning, this is for our own good in the long run. But even so, that doesn't change the fact I'm taking advantage of Sachi's internal rules to manipulate her behavior. Yukun? Something wrong? Did I by any chance say something strange? No, not really. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear it. Apparently relieved by my response, Sachi smiles broadly. I noticed this earlier as well, but apparently the girl's pretty astute at picking up on small changes in my expression. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Go grab a few books from your room and bring them over, alright? The genre doesn't matter. Certainly, I'll be paying you a visit in approximately 10 minutes then. Yeah. When she asked that question, those clear and steady eyes seemed to be staring right through my skull to the guilty feelings rolling around inside my mind. It gave me a bit of a start. Okay. Looks like they're gone. Yuji's willing to do anything we ask. This is some top-grade intelligence. I gotta take this one straight to the top. What? Inside my practically undecorated room, silent except for the sound of the air conditioning I turned on for Sachi's benefit. I turned the pages of my book without offering any real conversation. Sachi doesn't offer a word of compliment in any of this. When I glance over, she's sitting passively exactly where she was an hour ago, a contented smile on her face. Look, Sachi, are you planning to read at some point, or what? I'm rather enjoying just watching you like this, Yukun, but perhaps I should read as well? Well, I'm not trying to force you or anything, but is watching someone who's sitting around reading a book really any fun? In its way, yes. For example, your expression changes subtly in reaction to the specific passage you're reading. And your concentration is impressive. You've engrossed yourself in that book for a good 2 hours without stirring. Maki-chan would have gotten visibly bored within minutes, and by this stage I imagine we'd be playing a rather obscene round of 20 questions. That's so? Yes, it is. Although I can't say I enjoy being compared to Machina, I guess it's safe to interpret that as an attempt at a compliment. I think I've told you this a few times by now, but you're definitely a unique one, Sachi. Arigato. For example, I don't think you'll find many people will smile happily after essentially being called bizarre to their face, but that said, spending this quiet time alone together isn't so bad on my end either. In fact, it brings back some faint memories of the old days. We used to watch each other like this a lot in that park. I'd look up at Sachi as she soared into the sky on her swing, and she'd look over the bench at me as I started my homework. At this stage in my life, that constant presence at my side doesn't feel as natural as it did back then. That gaze makes it a little hard to relax even, but ask me if I find it unpleasant, and my answer will be a definite no. Just as I'm reaching the end of my book, my attention is caught by the sound of someone rushing noisily down the stairs. Hey, Yuji! Did you really volunteer to become our communal slave? Our sudden visitor and her bizarre question are too much to process on the fly. Sachi and I look quizzically into each other's faces. Look, woman, you burst into my room, fine, but do me a favor and keep your twisted delusions to yourself. I push myself up off the bed with a few cold words, then deliver a light poke directly to Amane's forehead. Come on. Somebody tells me a guy I'm interested in is now a public domain sex toy. What do you expect is gonna happen? Any red-blooded woman would get worked up into a bit of a frenzy. Hold on, Amane. I roughly understand what happened here, but where exactly did you pick up this criminally fraudulent misinformation? Who do you think she heard it from? 'Twas I, of course! Another one popped up out of nowhere. When I told Amani the news, she battled off like a dog in heat. I got stiffed in my side just keeping up with her, you know? Again with the bitch and heat thing. And where did you hear that story from, Makina? Ain't that obvious? The melancholic woman of constant sorrow, Yumi-chan. To conjecture from what I've heard so far, it seems the offer I communicated to Mitsuru was badly assorted on its way to Amane in the classic telephone game style, but it'd be a pain in the ass to try to correct all the misunderstandings one by one. So I guess I'll gather the whole lot of them and explain. Before the story gets even more muddled, let's discuss this as a group. Yeah, I appreciate it. As it turned out that Sakaki had left the dorm for a while, we ended up waiting for the slightly cooler evening before gathering in the lobby for our little chat. Now that I got you all together, I've got a few preliminary questions for clarity's sake. Sakaki, what did you tell Makina this afternoon? I simply passed along exactly what Master Shima-san told me, word for word. Me pretty sure I just said, usually willing to do any favor we ask for, and that's it. I see, so that's how it is. Ouch! Hey, what'd you hit me for all of a sudden? Because from the sound of things, you're pretty obviously the sole criminal here. Come on, any favor we ask for? Isn't sexual favors gonna be the first thing on your mind? Maybe so, but this slave stuff is totally going overboard. But half-hearted thinking. Young people need a creative spirit and bold imagination more than anything else these days. You'll never get ahead in society if you're not looking to take things a step further than the competition. I don't think that has anything whatsoever to do with this. I kinda did have a feeling it might be something like that. Smiling Rally, Amane rubs the back of her head in an uncharacteristic gesture of mild embarrassment. But you did say the thing about the favors, right? I wasn't misunderstanding or anything? I did indeed say that. See, but I told Yumiko it wasn't wrong or anything. Yep. Yes, sure, but more importantly, do you really mean anything? It has to be something I'm capable of doing, but more or less. Yes, that's only common sense, but even so. Where's this coming from all of a sudden? It's a little complicated, but to put it simply, I'm doing this for Sachi's sake. Come to think of it, you were talking about reducing your burden before, weren't you? Mitsuru shrugs her shoulders, a mildly exasperated expression on her face. In other words, since you're Sacha's boyfriend now, you're converting to the maid faith? Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. Although I could quibble about that phrasing, she's got the crucial point down. I'm assuming the role normally reserved for Sachi in this dorm. I must admit, I'm rather lost. You're really volunteering yourself as a... manservant? He just said so, didn't he? This presents some intriguing possibilities. Is Oni-chan turning into a maid really as interesting as all that? Well, even if slavery is off the table, we can ask the unreasonable of Yuji now, you know? Just to remind you people, Oni-chan belongs to Sachin now. Don't worry, it's all good. There's plenty of fun stuff you can do before it really counts as cheating, you see. Scary. Is this the true power of a super slut? Hey Yumiko, are you maybe planning to ask for a little something as well? I'm not considering anything like what Suo-san is talking about, of course. But perhaps a normal favor or two. Normal? Like what? Maybe a massage or something? The heck? You're chomping at the bit yourself. And in the meantime, Amani's completely degenerated to a dirty old man. This is rather troubling in a number of ways. Somehow everyone seems to be enjoying themselves a great deal, don't they? Even as the atmosphere of a little meeting takes a rapid turn for the dubious, Sachi maintains her utterly unperturbed smile. So anyway, ultimately speaking, I might be taking some of your work from you, Sachi. Is that alright with you? Quite alright. If that's your decision, Yukun, I have no reason to object. I see. Hold on, Sachin. It's good that you trust Oni-chan and all, but I think it might be better to veto on this one, you know? Veto? But why? I mean, Amani's one bad comb-over from completely transforming into a leering, greasy middle manager starting tomorrow. I'm willing to bet Oni-chan's underwear ain't even gonna have time to dry out. Since you're his girlfriend now, Sachi, and that would kind of suck for you, right? I don't think I entirely follow, but if his underwear won't air dry properly, can't we just put it in one of the drying machines upstairs? Now I get it, Sachi, you're gonna be one of them understanding wives, for sure. Forgiving your husband's cheating ways with a gentle smile. I hadn't anticipated this wild burst of excitement from Amane and company. But at present, Sachi doesn't seem to be harboring any doubts about my behavior, or any curiosity whatsoever, really. But that's alright for now. What really matters is what lies ahead. How Sachi's static patterns of thought will evolve through observing my example. I guess I can just leave it here for now. And probably do part 5 sometime soon, most likely.